Mila, it's been a while. I have a favor to ask. Do you have a moment? Eleanor, what's wrong? Is there a problem? Actually, I need to talk about money. We're really struggling and desperately need help. Money? Why are you coming to me for that? I heard you are financially stable, so I thought you might be able to help us. Please, we're begging you. But why are you in such a tough spot? Is there a special reason? The truth is, we can't make ends meet. The cost of living and the kids' tuition are skyrocketing. We're at our limit. That's tough. But why is it costing so much? Are you budgeting carefully? We're trying to budget, but with many kids, expenses just pile up. And then there are unexpected costs too. But if you knew you had many kids, shouldn't you manage your finances better? I know, but in reality, there are things we just can't control. That's why I hoped you could help a little. But I live abroad. I don't see your daily life, so I don't even know how much you need. If I give a specific amount, it would be quite a sum. Could you lend us about $5,000? $5,000? That's a lot of money. Why do you need so much? With food, living expenses, and recent medical bills, we're really in trouble. Mila, you can afford this much, can't you? Isn't that a bit unreasonable? I can't just lend out such a large sum easily. Don't say it's unreasonable. You have the means. Can't you help us out a little? I understand that you're in a tough spot, but lending such a large amount isn't easy. So, you're just going to abandon our family? Living comfortably abroad while ignoring your family? I didn't say that, but you should consider better budgeting. We're trying to budget, but we still can't keep up. That's why we're asking you. I want to help, but it's irresponsible to lend money recklessly. So what are we supposed to do? Are you telling us to just watch our family go homeless? That's not what I'm saying. But I think you also need to make an effort to find a solution yourself. So you're not going to help us after all? I'm disappointed in you, Mila. I thought you cared about family, but you're so cold. It's not like that. Have you talked to Logan about this? I know it's sudden, and I'm sorry for the trouble. It's an unexpected situation, and we're having a hard time adjusting. I understand. What about your father's funeral? Do you think you won't make it in time? I don't think so. I'm really sorry, but I might not make it to the funeral. The plane tickets were hard to get on such short notice. It looks like I won't be able to return today or tomorrow. The day after tomorrow is the best I can do. Don't worry about it. We'll handle everything for the funeral. We'll have Logan take care of it. Yes, I'll leave it to my brother. I'm sorry, I can't help as the eldest daughter. No, Mila. Please don't worry about it. In fact, it's perfectly fine if you leave it all to us. It's a hassle for you to come back, so you don't have to go that far. No, I would feel too guilty. It's not just the funeral. There's the inheritance in the house to take care of too. It's really okay. We'll handle everything here. In fact, we'll take care of the inheritance process as well, so don't worry. What? You say it so easily. Huh? Do you want a share of the inheritance, Mila? Or do you want to assert your inheritance rights? No, it's not that I want it, but I thought I should help since I have inheritance rights. But you don't have to rush it so much. Then, can you waive your inheritance rights? That way, we can take care of everything here, and there's no need for you to return. We'll handle everything, so don't worry. Wait, isn't that a bit one-sided? There's no problem, right? You weren't close to your father, and you haven't come back here for years. It's kind of shameless to claim the inheritance when you haven't even kept in touch with him, isn't it? Shameless? Sure, I didn't get along with Dad, but I don't think you have the right to say that. Whatever. But have you ever considered how much your father helped my husband and me? We've been taking care of him all this time, while you've been living comfortably overseas. That's why we should naturally inherit everything. You can continue working overseas as you have been. Don't worry about us. But we'll manage just fine without you. Your father had complete trust in us, so coming back is unnecessary. Even if you say that, I still have some responsibility. No, you don't. In fact, it would be better if you left it to us. Things will go more smoothly if you don't interfere. But I think the inheritance should be decided by the whole family. No, that's not necessary. Your father entrusted everything to us, so there's no need for you to get involved. But I'm still part of the family. If you're part of the family, then trust us and leave it to us. That's the best solution. Logan, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Well, there's a lot I want to talk to you about. But Eleanor contacted me and said that you and her are taking all the inheritance. What's going on?
What do you mean? You heard her. Is there a problem?
What?
Dad always said his inheritance should go to me and my wife. So we're just following his wishes.
What?
You see, we lived with Dad. Unlike you, the elegant single sister, we even let Dad see his adorable grandkids. Obviously, we're the ones who took care of Dad the most, so there's no problem with us getting all the inheritance, right?
Sure, I have no plans to get married or have kids. But because of that, Dad and I didn't get along. Dad always believed women don't need education. Just get married and have kids.
So you rebelled and took a job overseas. And you haven't come back in 8 years.
That's right. I tried to compromise a few times, but Dad never budged on his views. In comparison, you and your wife got married early, have a big, lively family, and fulfilled Dad's dream on my behalf, and I'm grateful for that.
So, you agreed to give up the inheritance, right? Someone who never listened to Dad's wishes like you doesn't deserve to inherit anything.
Huh?
An unmarried Oprah doesn't need an inheritance. Just give it up. Honestly, our family has grown so much that we're struggling financially. With 8 kids, our monthly expenses are really tight, and we need Dad's inheritance to help with our household. We have 8 kids, so we should inherit everything.
Wait a minute. 8 kids? Logan, didn't you only have 2 kids?
Oh, didn't I tell you? When you went overseas, we had 4 kids. But in these 8 years, we had 4 more. So now we have 8 kids.
It's a huge family. That's the kind of number you see on TV shows.
That's right. So last year, we decided to rebuild the house. But I never imagined Dad would pass away so suddenly. The house and loan are in my name. But Dad was handling the payments. And now, we're in a huge bind. We really need Dad's inheritance.
You're kidding. I didn't know about the kids or the house rebuilding. You two, it's fine to have as many kids as you want. But don't try to rely on Dad for that.
This is also a form of filial piety. Dad liked being depended on.
That's just showing off. He was an old-fashioned stubborn man who wouldn't even pay for my education. But he was willing to spend as much as he needed for your education, Logan. And now, you've used him to build a house. And you have the nerve to say you were doing him a favor by living with him.
Shut up! You're still an old maid, single and childless.
Excuse me?
Anyway, as long as you give up the inheritance, that's all we need. We gave Dad a lively old age surrounded by grandkids. Unlike you, who couldn't do a single act of filial piety, you old maid. You, the single aristocrat, don't need any inheritance. We have 8 kids, so the inheritance is all ours.
Fine, but don't come crying to me later.
Huh?
I'll give up my inheritance as you wish. I was planning to help with Dad's inheritance as his daughter. But if you say that, then do whatever you want. I don't care what happens anymore. I won't return to America, and I consider myself cut off from you all. Mila, I've been calling you, but you haven't answered. I have something I really need to ask you. Please, Mila, answer the phone, or at least respond to Logan's messages. Sorry, Eleanor. I've already cut ties with my brother. That's why I blocked his number, and I don't plan on unblocking it. Cut ties? I wasn't on good terms with Dad, and now I'm not on good terms with my brother either. So tell him it's useless to contact me. Goodbye. Wait! Please, don't cut ties with Logan. Don't abandon us, please. What? We're in a really tough spot right now. I know you work overseas and have some financial flexibility, right? Please, lend some money to my husband and me. If it's about money, you have Dad's inheritance. I gave up my share, so it's all yours. There was almost nothing in the inheritance. You knew that, didn't you, Mila? What? What I knew is that because he spent everything on his adorable grandkids and you two, his savings were completely gone. And he intended to leave most of the house loan to me. So, you knew everything. This house was built by your father, who told us to leave it to him. It was his way of thanking us for giving him so many grandkids. He said it was beneficial for the mortgage tax deduction, so he took out a loan, but told us to leave the payments to him. But there's not even a cent left for the house loan or savings. Actually, Dad called me out of the blue last year. He said he planned to build a house for my brother, who showed him his adorable grandkids. But he was going to use my wedding fund as the down payment, and that he expected nothing from me, the unfilial daughter who remained single, so I should help pay off the house loan instead. What? He ranted at me and then hung up abruptly. It was so absurd, I couldn't help but laugh. I appreciate that he saved up for my wedding, but the idea that an unmarried daughter is unfilial is just too much to accept. Wait a minute. So, the loan payments until now were paid by you, Mila, not your father? Of course, I didn't pay anything. I just pretended I didn't hear anything. And I didn't even know he actually went ahead and built the house after that call. What? He's a stubborn and proud man. Even if he knew I wasn't paying, he didn't want to lower his head. So it was a long standoff between a father who didn't want to beg and me, who didn't want any involvement. In the meantime, Dad suddenly passed away. What? By the time he asked me for help, his savings must have been almost gone. It's a miracle he managed to pay for this past year with his savings alone. No way! Of course, I have no intention of paying from now on either. You were probably counting on Dad's inheritance, but there's nothing there. So you and Logan need to figure it out. Goodbye. Wait! We're not done talking yet! What? Actually, we found Dad's will. We don't know when it was written, but we found a handwritten will in his room. Oh, is it the one that says something like, rely on your sister if you get into trouble? Yes! You knew about it! He must have gotten frustrated with me for not helping. He sent me a picture of it once. No message, just the image of the will. Then you understand, right? The will says, rely on your sister if there's trouble, and the sister should support the brother and his wife. What's written in the will is final. No matter how unhappy you are, you must support us. Unfortunately, that will is invalid. What? From the image I received, there's no date on it, right? Eleanor, you just said you didn't know when it was written. Yes, there's no date on it, but it is Dad's handwritten signature. Sorry, but without a date, a will is invalid. What? Moreover, the only thing that a will has any power over is the distribution of the inheritance. So Dad writing, my sister should support my brother and his wife, is just his wish and doesn't mean anything legally. So this will is completely meaningless? Yes, it is. It's just a letter from Dad. That's terrible. We really don't have any money. Raising 8 kids is extremely tough. We were barely making ends meet with just the living expenses. And now we have to pay the house loan too. I know it sounds harsh, but you chose to have those kids, right? Instead of complaining here, you should work. That's the duty of parents who decided to have 8 children without considering their own abilities. Don't talk like you know everything when you've never had kids. Kids are truly adorable. Once you have one, you just want to have another right away. Don't be jealous of our big, lively family. Oh my God. As a single person with plenty of money, you could help us out a little. Logan is also yelling next to me, begging you. Your brother and I are begging you this much. Please, help us a little. The same brother and his wife called me an old maid and a cunning sister just after the inheritance, didn't they? We apologize for that, both of us. So please, help us. We're having kids on your behalf since you're single. If you don't want to see your brother's family homeless, please help. I'd love to see it, actually. What? Why not? You could upload a video of a family of 8 kids going homeless on YouTube. It might get a lot of views. What? What? You're joking, right? Oh, or maybe apply for one of those big family TV shows. But wait, do they pay for filming? If not, then it's pointless. What? Are you really not going to help us? No, I won't. You went ahead and built the house, expecting me to pay for it. You can't expect me to just say, sure, I'll pay for it. But Mila, you're not married and you don't have kids. You have plenty of money as a single woman. Yes, I do have money to spare. But it's money I've worked hard for. It's money for me to use for myself. I'm not going to spend it on a brother and sister-in-law who mock my single status. No way! So that's that. Take care.
Wait, Mila. It's me, Logan. I'm sorry for always mocking your single status. But that was just because I was influenced by Dad. I don't mock you anymore, I swear.
Oh, Logan, I'm glad I got to say goodbye to you.
What? Mila?
I've decided to completely cut ties with you and your wife. Now, work hard for your wife and 8 kids. You don't have Dad to rely on anymore.
No, sister. Please, don't abandon us. I'll work to build a better relationship from now on.
You say abandon, but I can't take it anymore. I've been mocked and belittled for too long. This is my limit.
Without you, what will happen to our family?
That's the result of your own actions. You'll have to pay the price for mocking me yourselves.
No way. Sister, please. Can you give us one last chance?
My feelings won't change. Whatever you do, it doesn't concern me anymore.
Mila, I'm really sorry.
Find your own way without relying on me.
But sister...
Goodbye, Logan. According to a mutual friend, my brother and his wife have fallen into even more difficult times since then. It seems their unplanned lifestyle finally caught up with them, and their finances collapsed. Eleanor desperately took on more part-time jobs, working late into the night. And my brother Logan also took on night shifts, in addition to his day job, leaving him with almost no time at home. Even so, it wasn't nearly enough to support their 8 children, and they couldn't pay the mortgage, so they ended up losing their home. The inheritance they were counting on turned out to be almost non-existent, pushing them further into a corner. They lost their home, had no place to live, and had to leave their children with friends and relatives. Moreover, they tried to get temporary income by applying for a big family TV show. But the condition of their house was so bad that it wasn't aired. As a result, they didn't even get a small filming fee and ended up with more debt instead. I am now convinced that not helping them was the right decision. From now on, I intend to continue living my life on my own terms. I've learned once again the importance of paving my own path without relying on others.